That carton of milk in your fridge right now, it might not be what you think it is. Every morning, millions of Irish families pour milk into their tea, their cereal, their children's cups, trusting what's inside is fresh, safe, and genuinely Irish. But behind those familiar brands and farm-fresh labels, there's a reality the dairy industry desperately doesn't want you to see. Recent testing has revealed Irish milk brands selling products with undisclosed ultra-processing, nutritional profiles so degraded they barely qualify as real milk, and sourcing practices that make a mockery of Irish-made labels plastered across cartons. In the past 18 months, we've seen quiet recalls for contamination, investigations into misleading country of origin claims, and laboratory analysis showing some brands selling what amounts to white water with a splash of milk powder. We've analysed every independent test available, reviewed food standards investigations, and consulted with dairy farmers, who've walked away from contracts rather than compromise their integrity. Today, we're exposing 7 milk brands sold in every Tesco, Dunnes and SuperValu across Ireland, products betraying your trust while charging premium prices. This is the dairy truth they're hoping you never discover. Number 1. SuperValu. SuperValu is Ireland's second largest supermarket chain with over 400 stores nationwide. Their own brand milk is everywhere at $1.60 for 2 litres. Convenient, affordable, with labels showing idyllic Irish farmland and that prominent Irish flag. But here's what SuperValu doesn't advertise. This milk is produced under contract by multiple processors depending on location. In Munster, it might be Dairy Gold. In Leinster, possibly Glanbia. In Connacht, another processor entirely. This fragmented supply chain means no consistent quality standard. You're not buying the same milk in Cork that you're buying in Dublin or Sligo. You're buying whatever processor gave. SuperValu, the cheapest contract that quarter. And that price, $1.60 for 2 litres, let's do the mathematics. Dairy farmers receive 35 to 40 cents per litre at Farmgate. For 2 litres, that's 70 to 80 cents. Add processing, packaging, distribution, and retailer margin. Selling milk for 80 cents per litre means someone is getting squeezed, and it's always the farmers. When farmers are squeezed, quality suffers. Cows get pushed harder. Feed quality drops. Testing standards become bare minimum. Independent analysis shows SuperValu milk has protein levels at the bottom of acceptable ranges, inconsistent fat content between batches, and vitamin degradation from over-processing. This milk has been ultra-pasteurized, ultra-filtered, stripped of anything reducing shelf life, then sold as fresh. The irony is SuperValu markets itself as supporting Irish communities, but their milk contracts tell a different story. You're paying $1.60 for milk that's fresh in. Name only. Number 2. Connacht Gold. This brand sounds authentically Irish, suggesting regional heritage and artisan quality. Connacht Gold is owned by Arrivo Cooperative Society, an Irish dairy cooperative. That sounds good until you examine how modern cooperatives actually operate. Between 2015 and 2023, Arrivo underwent massive consolidation. Smaller local facilities closed. Production centralized into industrial plants. The cooperative that once prioritized farmer welfare now prioritizes efficiency and shareholder returns. Connacht Gold won't openly discuss that their milk procurement prices have remained essentially flat for nearly a decade, despite rising costs of feed, fuel, and fertilizer. Farmers report producing milk at or near cost with minimal profit margin. When diesel and fertilizer prices spiked in 2022, Connacht Gold offered no meaningful adjustments. Farmers absorbed those losses. But did retail prices drop when costs stabilized? Absolutely not. Testing shows inconsistent quality. Protein levels vary significantly between batches, suggesting milk from different quality standards is being blended without proper segregation. Fat content fluctuates. Processing is aggressive ultra-pasteurization for extended shelf life, destroying vitamins and enzymes. For a brand positioning itself as regional and traditional, the reality is industrial-scale processing optimized for cost, not quality. Number 3. Avonmore. This brand name sounds quintessentially Irish, evoking rolling green pastures and family farms. It sounds farmer-owned. It's not. Avonmore is owned by Glanbia, a multinational corporation with operations in 32 countries. While Glanbia originated as an Irish cooperative, it's now publicly traded. Shareholders control decisions, not farmers. Testing in 2020 found Avonmore full-fat milk at 3.4% fat, when premium brands delivered 3.8 to 4%. Protein levels similarly diminished. Milk fat carries flavor and vitamins A and D. Reduced fat means reduced nutrition and taste. Avonmore uses high-temperature pasteurization, effective at killing bacteria, but destroying enzymes like lactase that aid digestion. This explains why some people tolerate certain brands, but not others. Farmers supplying Avonmore report payment rates barely covering rising production costs, locked into margin-squeezing contracts. Number 4. Flahavans. This is the one that should terrify you. Now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't Flahavan's the porridge company? Yes, exactly. And that's precisely the problem. Flahavan's launched their milk line in 2021, positioning it as premium Irish milk from grass-fed cows. The packaging is beautiful, leveraging over 200 years of Irish heritage. But here's what they don't tell you. Flahavan's doesn't own dairy farms. They don't operate processing facilities. They're a brand name licensing their reputation to contracted processors. The milk is manufactured by third parties and branded as Flahavan's. You're paying premium prices, $2.20 to $2.50 per litre, for the Flahavan's name on milk that could come from the same processing line as supermarket-owned brands. And here's where it gets truly disturbing. In 2022, there were quiet recalls of certain Flahavan's milk batches due to quality control issues. These weren't publicised widely. No press releases, no major announcements. Just silent removal from shelves and replacement with new stock. When independent food safety advocates questioned this, the response was vague references to routine quality monitoring. But here's what insiders know. The recalled batches had inconsistent pasteurization, meaning some cartons weren't properly heat treated. That's a serious food safety issue. Improperly pasteurized milk can harbor dangerous bacteria, including Listeria and Salmonella. Pregnant women, young children, elderly people. Anyone with compromised immunity faces serious risk from these pathogens. The symptoms can range from mild gastric distress to life-threatening infections. Now, to be clear, Flahavan's fixed the processing issue. The current milk on shelves is safe according to testing standards. But the fact that a heritage brand launched a dairy product without adequate quality control infrastructure is terrifying. They put their name on a product they didn't fully understand or control. And consumers trusted that name based on generations of porridge production. That trust was betrayed when quality control failed. Independent testing conducted after the recall shows Flahavan's milk quality is middle of the pack at best. Not premium, not exceptional, distinctly average. For a product costing $2.20 to $2.50 per litre, significantly above standard brands, that's completely unacceptable. You're paying for heritage branding, nice packaging, and the Flahavan's name recognition, not for superior milk quality, better nutrition, or enhanced safety protocols. The markup is pure brand premium with no substance behind it. Number 5. Premier Dairies. Premier Dairies has been a Dublin institution since 1948, delivering milk for generations. That heritage is now being exploited. In 2017, Premier Dairies was acquired by Dale Farm, a Northern Irish cooperative. The acquisition fundamentally changed operations. What was once an independent Dublin dairy is now part of a larger corporate structure, optimizing across multiple markets. And quality has declined noticeably. Testing shows Premier Dairies milk now has protein density below historical averages. Fat content is inconsistent, with some batches at 3.3% when premium whole milk should deliver 3.8 to 4%. The processing has intensified with ultra-pasteurization extending shelf life, but creating cooked flavor and destroying vitamins and enzymes. Longtime customers describe the milk as not tasting the same. One reviewer said the richness and creaminess is gone, calling it watery compared to years past. Another noted their children, who grew up on Premier Dairies, now prefer other brands. When loyal, multi-generational customers notice decline, that's a clear signal. At €1.80 to €2 per 2 litres, Premier charges premium prices based on heritage while delivering quality that's declined to standard commercial levels. You're paying for the name and Dublin nostalgia, not the milk quality that built that reputation. Number 6. Dawn Fresh. Dawn Fresh positions as premium Irish milk with packaging emphasising Irish farms and green pastures. Higher pricing suggests superior quality, but Dawn Fresh is manufactured by Dairy Gold, one of Ireland's largest cooperatives. While Dairy Gold is Irish-owned, Dawn Fresh exists to capture premium retail pricing. Testing reveals it's processed identically to Dairy Gold's standard line. Same ultra-pasteurization, same shelf life focus, same nutritional profile. The differences are label, marketing and price. You're paying extra 40 to 50 cents per 2 litres for branding, not better milk. Independent taste testing found Dawn Fresh indistinguishable from Dairy Gold standard in blind tests. Premium prices should deliver premium quality. Dawn Fresh delivers neither. Number 7. Lee Strand. Lee Strand is a Kerry-based cooperative operating since 1982, marketing themselves as traditional Kerry dairy, supporting local farmers. People in Munster trust Lee Strand as their local option, but over the past decade, Lee Strand expanded aggressively beyond Kerry into Cork, Limerick and Waterford. That expansion required significant capital, funded by squeezing farmer payments and cutting processing costs. Farmers report payment rates that haven't kept pace with inflation or rising costs. One described it as being paid 2010 prices while facing 2024 costs for everything else. The mathematics don't work. Testing shows Lee Strand has among the highest quality variation of any brand regularly tested. Some batches are acceptable, others fall significantly short. Protein levels fluctuate batch to batch. Fat content is inconsistent, sometimes dropping below 3.4% despite whole milk labeling. This suggests blending milk from multiple sources without proper quality segregation. Consumer reviews note the inconsistency explicitly. One said, "1 week the milk is fine, next week it tastes off," calling it a quality lottery. Another said Lee Strand sometimes curdles in hot tea, indicating high bacterial count or processing failures. Completely unacceptable. At $170 to $190 per 2 litres, Lee Strand isn't even cheap. You're paying mid-range prices for wildly inconsistent quality. A cooperative that should set standards is instead cutting corners to fund expansion. The next time you're in the dairy aisle surrounded by cheap cartons with farm-fresh labels, remember what you learned today. Marketing isn't reality. Irish made isn't always quality. Fresh doesn't mean nutritious. Real milk comes from happy cows, grass-fed and treated with respect, processed gently to preserve what nature created. It costs what it actually costs to produce ethically and sustainably. Your body deserves better than white water pretending to be nutrition. Irish dairy farmers deserve better than being squeezed by supermarket monopolies while corporate brands profit. Choose quality, support ethical farming, read the labels. Which brand shocked you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more videos exposing what's in Irish supermarkets, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.